So, anyways, side issue. Sorry about that. I had some technical difficulties, but I got that under control now. Um. So. Anyways, so I started out as a conservative, and now I'm a libertarian because, having listened to Chuck Baldwin, he was good for a while, and then I kind of got off the conservative train. But for a while, I was hooked on the Constitution Party and thereafter. And long come to shortcoming, 2008 was also the same year that President Barack Obama had gotten elected. And I wasn't even rooting for him. I was rooting for Chuck Baldwin for the Constitution Party. And that's how conservative I was at the time. But then I also saw that most conservatives at the time were going for John McCain, who unfortunately passed away of brain cancer. So sorry for his loss, but his political views were not always all that there either. Although I am sorry for his loss, so, you know. But, anyways, you know, I started doing my own research. And I read up on the Libertarian Party because I was drawn into it by its logo, its website, its authenticness, and I researched. Okay, so where is it that they stand on the political issues and why? When a lot of people do research, they will look at, oh, this guy is in favor or against illegal immigration, or this guy is in favor or against, or this political party is in favor or against illegal immigration, or this political party is in favor or against such and such issue, or whatever the issue happens to be. And they don't often consider, okay, well, why is this political party in favor of or against a particular political issue? So when you read down in the details, you can say, okay, well, this position doesn't make sense. This does, this does, this does. Oh, wait, that makes sense. But most people don't do thorough research. The kind of research that most people do is they listen to the radio, they watch TV, the news outlets, One American News, Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, CNN, whatever the political media outlet they're listening to, whatever it is they happen to be listening to. It could even be Alex Jones on Infowars.com. Because for a while I kind of liked what he had to say. And then, you know, but since becoming a libertarian and after Alex Jones endorsed Donald Trump, I said, I got to get off this Alex Jones train, and I did. Um, but there's the emphasis on how a lot of people research is often, okay, the media is saying this. The media is saying if I vote for a political third party, that I will decipher the vote from the Democrats, or I will decipher the votes from the Republicans, and the Democrats will win. Or the other one is I'm throwing away my vote. And these are notions that we have to fight against. But how can you fight against it when you have a population or a populace that supports those ideologies just because someone who supposedly may or may not have a college degree is giving you this information? And if you think about it, this is corporate media that are the only ones allowed access to the radio waves or the airwaves or whatever. So of course they're going to ignore political parties like the Constitution Party or the Libertarian Party or the Green Party or whatever political party that's out there that isn't really a Republican or a Democrat. And it's because they want you to vote for a Democrat or Republican. And there's a reason for that. There is. If you notice, the media who endorses the two major parties, whichever of the two that get into DC, guess who gives them the money? The President of the United States and the Federal Reserves and all this other stuff. So, of course, they're the ones that are going to endorse them. And I don't care whether it's Donald Trump or Barack Obama or Clinton or whoever it is, whoever the political correspondent is, whoever gets to be president of the United States, gives the media all this money, and they give them all this, and in return, the media gives them all this attention, all this focus, and you know, no third party is gonna pay the media to to say, here's $1 million, here's all of our money, so you can give us coverage. So a lot of it has to do with the money, but a lot of it has to do with popularity too, and you know, um, corruption. And I believe corruption has a lot to do with that. So, I mean, follow the money. That's obviously the number one rule if you get a finance degree or from what you're taught. Um, from what um, but yeah, I mean, Facebook got started through the support of Incotel. Um, and of course, Incotel is a company that then sucks up to the CIA and all that. If he had just started that company without assistance from the government, that would have been even better. That would have been better, actually. But, then you wonder why. I mean, it's the government that caves the corporate and global. I mean, I don't want to say that all corporations are bad because they're truly not. But the government gives a lot of them a lot of money, and it's taxpayers' money. So it's really actually corporate welfare. And to be honest with you, I would much rather have it where the corporations in the free market work out their own problems without government intervention or without government subsidies. There is no reason for any company, big or small, to start being dependent on the government. That is simply not the proper approach. And what that does is that steals from hard-working taxpayers who pay into the system, and for companies and corporations they shouldn't be getting government subsidies. They shouldn't. Know this much. I know this much. If we all should be competing against each other because that makes for a better product. All right? And I'm saying this as a libertarian, as a pro capitalistic person, as well as from someone who favors free markets, which is free markets and free market capitalism, which I favor, and gun rights and civil liberties. And I believe that the government is just too big. But we've had since 1861, since the rise of the Republican Party, Republicans and Democrats getting elected over and over and over and over again for 200 years. And every generation, it's a new set of people that vote for the Republican and Democratic parties. But neither of them are worthy of your vote. And here's why. Because they don't care about you. What they care about is going to war, destabilizing the currency, bombing other countries, sticking their nose where it doesn't belong, and then you have the Federal Reserves printing money out of thin air. And for what purpose? Why do we need the Federal Reserves and the IRS and the big government institutions to prop up banks that should be self-reliant outside of government? Okay, I'm not against banks. Okay, I'm not. I'm a free market, libertarian, I'm a capitalist. I support the free market. I do. I support your gun rights. I do. I support all that. But honestly, you're not going to get it with the Republican or the Democratic parties. You're not. You're just not. Because they don't care about your gun rights. They don't care about free market capitalism. They don't care about your gun rights. They don't care about free market capitalism. And they don't care about immigration. They don't care about the rights of the individual. They could care less about those issues. Because some of these issues are wedge issues. But what it means is they don't care about your civil liberties and your rights. What they, and we fought a war 300 years ago, 3 or 200 years ago, I think. It was called the Revolution. Might have heard of it. Briefly mentioned in the history books, but rarely do they talk about the details of it. And it was against Great Britain's high taxes and regulations for her subjects, which we were at the time. We were the 13 colonies of Great Britain, and we broke away from that. Why? High taxes, high regulations, okay, and very little rights for the individual. And so we fought this grand old war to become an independent country, which we are. And then we're supposed to bomb other countries and exploit them and exploit our own citizenry? What kind of government does that? I'll tell you what kind of government does that. A Democrat and a Republican type government. Parties that have hijacked the system and don't care about you. And that's what the Libertarian Party is. A party that's all about you. You, me, everybody. And we all win if we elect a Libertarian. It's a win-win for all of us. It's this idea that a person, man or woman, should be free to make his or her own decisions on his or her own, as long as he or she does not impose danger, force, or fraud to others. That is the only exception. That's the only time where legitimate force in terms of self-defense would be granted is when someone imposes danger, force, or fraud to you. And more importantly, danger or force. When someone comes up to you and imposes danger and force, you have a right to defend yourself, but you don't have the right to initiate force on others. Okay? And so we can talk about, President Donald Trump, President Obama, former President Obama, and all the past presidents all day, every day till we're blue in the face. But this has been going on for 200 years, and slowly they've been signing more executive orders. Slowly they've been trampling on our civil liberties. And so I ask that the individual, considers voting for or registering to be a libertarian. I know that if you live in New York State, you can register to be a libertarian. You can do that as a libertarian voter. You can do that. Go to DMV, get a voter registration form, fill it out, and send it to them. Or you can do it online through the motor vehicles website, get an account, and register to be a libertarian. You can do that. We're on the voter registration forms. And because Larry Sharp has achieved 90,000 votes and we only needed 50,000 votes, we have automatic ballot access for the next 4 years. So for the next 4 years, we have automatic ballot access and we are recognized by New York State as an official major party, meaning we have major party status in New York State. So we're the third major party besides the Democrats and the Republicans. So on that level, we are becoming a force to be reckoned with. And what we are is a gradation of volunteerism, individualism. And so I would encourage you all, please consider donating and voting and registering to support the Libertarian Party, because we're the only party that cares about your rights. And I can go on and on and on about that, but it's true. We're the only party that cares about your gun rights, your civil liberties, getting rid of your property taxes, and reducing your overall taxes. And on the national level, we're the only political party that cares about auditing and then abolishing the U.S. Federal Reserves, which has no legitimate purpose to exist in this country